Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Lately I've been working on a project alone called Transformers Survival. I've been working on it for a few months and I finally decided that I should probably share it, as I've been previewing some of the characters such as Flytrap for a while now. Before I get into exactly what Transformers Survival is, what am I drawing? This drawing is a speed paint I made of the designing actually of a character from Transformers Survival. This is me currently working on her coloring and such, but her name is Blacklight. Now what exactly is Transformers Survival? Transformers Survival is a fan-made movie I am making that doesn't exactly take place during the Autobot and Decepticon War. If it's not based around the Autobot and Decepticon War, what is it based around? It's actually based around before the Autobots and Decepticons started the war, near the golden age of Cybertron. The plot and script of this I have been in general making for months now, around 5 months. I have been looking at different timelines and such of Transformers, well, continuities really, like Transformers 1, Transformers Prime, G1, and such like that, and I found a lot of inspiration after Transformers 1's timeline. With this inspiration from Transformers 1, I decided that I wanted to lean more of, what could I do with Iacon? Or, for instance, what if there was still a group of Cybertronians that still lived on the surface while everyone was beneath? Using this, I didn't want to directly copy Transformers 1's timeline. I more of wanted to make my own, but heavily inspired off of what the events were in Transformers 1. For instance, the general idea of what I'm trying to get at is there is this group of Predacons that I kind of merged the idea in TFP that they went extinct, and also the idea of Transformers 1 that no one's on the surface anymore, and I thought there is this group of Predacons that no one really thought was there. Like they're just kind of existing without no one knowing there. I thought more about it though, and seeing this group of Predacons, what makes them that interesting? I brought in the idea though from TFP where they're just thought of as beast, like how Predaking was repeatedly called a beast. So what if there was this group of Predacons that didn't really want to be called a beast, and they were just proving to be merciful by not really minding anyone else's business and just kind of sticking to themselves? With the general idea of this, it was a little bit hard to make a antagonist happen or something, because of course with a movie you want a big conflict, and I don't think that just having people try and prove to be merciful is too much of a Transformers like conflict. So I thought about the timeline more and thought about what can I do with that. So I thought I would place the timeline in where the introduction of the movie would start out before the war. In the middle of the movie, or getting closer to the middle of the movie, the war would start in the background. But at the end, it would be in the war. Moving back to more of how I wanted to write the plot. I didn't want to use main characters and such from the normal Transformers lore, such as Optimus Prime, Megatron, Bumblebee, Soundwave. I didn't want to use any of those, because they just didn't feel like mine. It feels more natural to write a character that you made yourself, in my opinion. So, how would the plot work like that? Thinking of this, I designed the plot to have a new antagonist, an antagonist that I called Reaper. He is originally an Autobot, a lower ranked of course, so that it doesn't affect the main characters such as Optimus Prime or something. A very low ranked Autobot, but eventually he becomes an ex-Autobot and becomes a mercenary. I decided that I wanted to make that one of the antagonists because I found that Predacons and mercenaries, they could have some potential to create conflict. And of course, with an antagonist, we have our protagonist, Flytrap. She's part of the Predacon group and is where the movie is mostly featured around. Doing all of this, of making my own original characters for the movie, I was able to avoid using the main cast and use more of my own ideas and characters, but still keep the subject of Transformers. Another question I do sometimes get from the people that have known about this is, why am I doing it? Transformers has really inspired me for a while, and finally that inspiration got me to wake up one morning and think, what if I made my own Transformers movie? That was around 5 months ago when I started this project. Once I thought that, I started to create concepts for the character. I started to study Transformers lore a bit more so that my characters wouldn't affect the main sort of timelines and continuities of Transformers and wouldn't directly copy them. And in general, it was just a time of figuring out, what's this gonna be? So far, I'm the only person working on this. I have some friends offering to help, but we have yet to start. Otherwise, the animation process has already been started, the scripting has been started, the voice acting has been started, and many more steps have already been started, and now the movie is looking at a while of work, but is getting there. As I've mentioned before, it's only been in production for 5 months, so it doesn't have too awfully much progress with only one person working on it so far. The movie, though, is going to feature multiple battle scenes, multiple of more darker themed scenes, and I do warn it will have some gore, well, robot gore, in it. Of course, it won't just be themed around a darker side, it will have some more humorous parts, but with the general idea of the movie, I plan to have it a mix between bright and dark. So far with the animation progress, though, we have a transformation sequence halfway done, as doing 2D animation, the transformations are quite hard to simplify and such with such big characters transforming from dragons to cars. As the Predacons, most of them, like Flytrap, I made into triple changers for more to add to the plot. As well as that, we have a fire-breathing animation going next to the transformation sequence, because I kept the ideas from TFP that Predacons are draconic and they can breathe fire. I found that design pretty cool, and so I kind of incorporated it into my own. The animation sometimes can feature more of a comic style, but I tried to stick with fluent animation, as well as adding a smudge of comic in, because the Transformers Skybound comics really inspired me as well, and I kind of wanted to make a more comic-ish style, as they had me drawing comics a lot lately. It was originally supposed to be a realistic sort of animation, until I realized that might be a bit hard to draw completely alone, so I went with more of a comic style to simplify it. That's why, with most of the scenes, there is a lot of ink and such being used in them. Of course, this is just the introduction video of me explaining what exactly Transformers Survival is, so later on there will be a lot more animation, sneak peeks and such of the movie, but I will try and keep spoilers down. That is all I really had to discuss about Transformers Survival in this video. It's just kind of introducing it, giving the idea of what I want to do with it, and why I'm making this. But if you have any extra questions in the comments, I will be sure to answer them. As well as I'll include a Discord link in the description to the Discord that I have made for this movie. If the link expires, just tell me in the comments and I'll renew it for you. With that, I hope this is an interesting idea for you all, and I hope that you enjoy it as much as I enjoy making it. Have a great day or night! I shall see you all in the next video of Transformers Survival if you enjoyed this one.